Hello Drone Racers, I'm Mark, and today on Drone Racer 101 I'm going to answer a question that a whole bunch of people have had for a whole long time. How do you use the trainer mode with an X-Lite? One of the things I was really excited about when the X-Lite came out was that it came with Bluetooth trainer built in, and then it came and it didn't. It actually wasn't there. They didn't put it in. I have a whole separate video about it over here. There's no trainer port on here, so there really weren't a lot of options. It talked about being a future upgrade. As far as I know, nothing's come about that, but I've flown this as a trainer. It turns out there is a spot in here for a Bluetooth module, and I've installed one and tested it successfully. So what I'm gonna do is show you kind of my pictures and some video, and there was no good way to film it. So step one, you need to watch my video over here, that side, right? Yeah. You need to watch my video on how to open it up. I'm not going to do that again, and I'm going to show you and kind of walk through the pictures of what I did as I took it apart, as I got to and installed that module. I've got some video that I could do. I've got some where you can just see the back of my head. It was just very difficult to film, so that's why this has taken 3 months for me to fully test it and publish this, because I just didn't know how to do it. I decided I'm just going to do it. It is what it is, but I want you to be able to see how to do it. There are links down below on where to get the module for this. You need the module and an antenna. There's this Bluetooth antenna that you need to put. It's installed inside here now. So I'm going to walk through that, and then I'm going to show you using it with this. We'll go through turning it on. After it's installed, you have to turn it on and enable it and make sure all the settings are right. And then you have to have another radio. This is the X7S, which does come with the Bluetooth module. And I'm going to use this to actually do a test flight, because the big question is, how bad is the latency? Is it usable? Now, I'm going to say right off the bat, I wouldn't do this in high-end racing conditions. That's not what this is for. But I want to use it for training my son, for practicing, letting him fly more, letting him go outside, and he can control this, and I might set it up either way, and I can take back control as I need. I think it's still more useful for wings, where you've got lots of time and he can fly and there won't be any problem there at all. But this is, I'm going to use it for everything. And I'm really excited that it works. So I hope there's enough material for you to see how to do it. It's a little tricky. I was a little nervous that I might ruin my radio in the process, but I didn't, and it all works, and we'll go from there. Now I'm going to go put that all together, and I'll meet you back up at the end, and we'll see how it turns out. So once you get the radio opened up, you have to take out pretty much everything. You're looking at one of the central circuit boards in order to be able to put this chip on there. So make sure you get everything unplugged. I started with the barrels that the batteries go into, and you have to unplug those. And be really careful when you do that. You see this one, the connector actually came off, so make sure you watch that and note which way it goes on. So if this happens to you, if the connector itself comes off, the pins are still there, but the connector came off. I had to be really careful to make sure that went back on the right way. So unplug all the cables, take pictures while you go, note which way the cables run, because you're going to want to make sure you can put them all back in the right place. So here's the Bluetooth module. This comes from the Horus radio. It's still available. There are a couple places you can get it. I have links down below for that. And there's where it goes. So it goes right there in the center, and the pads are pre-tinned for you. The pads that you use, that you have to connect, are all tinned, all ready to go. All you have to do is make sure everything gets lined up and connected. So there they are together. I spent a lot of time, and you'll see in the video here in a minute, that I spent a lot of time making sure I had the right pads all ready to go as much as possible. So I tried several ways to get this soldered here. I got it all soldered up. What I did first is I just tinned the pads. Now, metal actually goes around the side. It's a little easier to tin it around the side of the Bluetooth module than the bottom of the pad, but see, I couldn't get very good video. My head was in the way most of the time. So I went through, did them one at a time, made sure everything lined up. I lined them up over and over and over, and went through, and here's one that I actually got that I got a decent shot of it. So I heated the pad and got the solder on. If you can, get some fine solder. My solder was just too big, and it made this much more difficult. It made it harder to heat and get everything on, but I managed to get it to work and only got one extra pad tinned that I didn't need. So then once it was all tinned, I got everything clipped on, lined up as well as I possibly could. I had a really fine solder tip on my soldering iron, the finest I've got in there with just a little bit of extra solder, and got the connectors connected between the pads on both sides. And here you can see what it looks like. There we go. So everything's lined up. I was just a little crooked. You can see they're diagonal a little bit. There's another shot of it. So the pads on the side have copper on them too, so I actually ended up going into that. And if you put some solder on there and then connect to the pads down below. That's all I did. I just basically bridged that connection with solder. It's not amazing, but you know what? It's good enough that it has worked and it's been really solid every time I've tried it. So then you have to put everything back in. This was probably one of the hardest steps, getting the screen reconnected. That is a zero insertion force, a ZIF connector like we have on laptops a lot of times. Just slide that in and click it on and make sure everything is lined up. Take your time putting everything in. One of the problems I had is these buttons kept moving around. Make sure those are all lined up before you get everything in place. If they're not lined up, those buttons won't work. Those are the silver buttons that are on the front of it. That cable was particularly difficult to get around, so make sure you pay attention to that red and black cable and get it around the circuit board to get it plugged in properly before you get everything all screwed back down. So here's the antenna for the Bluetooth module. It just clicks on there like any of your receivers. And what I did is I ran it around the corner and ran it down. You can see it on the bottom there, right next to the battery connector. So it's just in place there. It kind of slid underneath and it fits in there really well. It's a nice flat antenna. And then the battery, when it went on top, it's just underneath, and that worked just fine for me. One more thing I want to point out, when you're putting it back together, see my dials here. The one knob is turned to the right. When I put this back in the first time, I did not have those lined up properly. I didn't have the dial, the arrow sticking out the top. So I had to take it back apart and re-loosen the screws and line it all back up because those dials weren't usable. They will turn around further than they will, and it's those knobs sticking out that actually keep it from turning too far. So make sure those are lined up when you get it all put back together. All right, so the module is installed. Then what you've got to do is turn it on. So you have to turn on your radio. Thank you, Amber. Hold left to go into the menu. Then go to page 8. So that's hardware. Scroll down. You want to go to Bluetooth. Do a click. Go over. You can do telemetry, which will connect to an external module. There's an app that you can connect to this that I don't know all what that does. And then also if you go to right, then you have trainer. If you exit here, then you can go down and you can see your local address. So that is the Bluetooth address for this device. If you don't see that, something didn't work. But because that showed up there, that's going to be unique for every module. Every module will have a unique address. So you want to make sure that is there. So that is the trainer that we've got set up. Then the other thing that we'll come back to actually is the trainer page. So here's the trainer. I have my sources. I want my trainer to be able to control all 4 axes. So throttle, aileron, elevator, and rudder. I want it to have 100% control, and the source is actually going to depend on the other side. We'll get back to that here in just a minute. So now we'll X out. I'm going to go into my module. I'm going to go to the setup page and go up to trainer. This is what master BT, master Bluetooth, and discover. So we need another radio for this now. Conveniently, I just happen to have one. So we'll go into the menu on this one. And we'll go to the same place here. We're going to go to the bottom. And here on this one, I've got it set to slave BT, slave Bluetooth. Channel range 1 through 8, that is just fine. It's not going to cause a problem here. I've left the PPM frames as the default. I have not experimented with different settings for that. If we end up needing to, we can do that later. So now that this is on, set up as a slave, I'm going to go back to this, and I'm on Discover. I'm going to click. Now it shows up with the Bluetooth ID for the other device, and I'm going to bind, and there they're bound. So now if I go back, I'm going to exit out of here, I'm going to go back to that menu and to the trainer page we looked at. Now the trainer, you see these calibration inputs on the bottom. Now this radio shows me what's going on. Now it's interesting because this is a TAER radio. This is an AETR radio, so they're different, which is why these numbers don't match. My throttle is on 2, so what I've done here is my throttle is set to channel 2, which is the way I want it. My rudder is channel 3, we can see that here, so you want to check this before you move on. My elevator is on channel 4, and my ailerons are on channel 1. So that'll work out fine as long as this source matches what I'm seeing here, and it's really nice to be able to see it. So now we can exit out. Now we've got one more thing to do. If I go back into my model, and I'm going to go to the special functions, and here I have trainer. Now I'm actually going to change this while I'm at it. I have the trainer set to channel C, so I want to change this because this is my arm switch. This is C, so I don't want that. I actually want to move it over here, so I'm going to just click, and that will change to SD. So there, my arm and my trainer are on different switches. Now I'll go over to trainer, and this I've already set, so you just have to roll through here until you get to trainer, and then check to enable. There we go. Now all we have to do is bind this to whatever model you want. Here I've got my US 65. That's what we're going to use for testing. And then when I flip this switch, this radio will take control. I can actually already see that here. So I have my sticks here, and you see them moving when I move this. Well, if I flip this switch, that doesn't do anything anymore. Now, if I move this stick, you see them moving. That's exactly what we want to happen. All right, so now that it's in, we're going to try it. And I have a helper so we can actually try trainer mode. It's probably going to be a disaster. So I'm going to try it first. I don't know. I don't know. So I've got the DVR set up. This radio is bound with it, and I'm going to fly it with this one just to see how it goes. So in order to do that, I'm going to flip. Make sure I've got everything on safe here. Everything's good to go. I'll flip this switch, and I'm going to try it first, and then we're going to let him try it because I'm not sure how well that's going to work.
It's going to totally work out well.
Goggles on. Let's see. So I still have to arm it. So this one's set to arm it, so I'll arm it. There we go. It's armed. And I don't have any control.
Take lift off.
So I need to re-bind them because I flew them earlier. So I'm going to go back in and do the bind just like I showed you earlier in the video. There we go. I didn't have to do anything on this radio. It was still remembered it's in slave mode. I just went to here, discover, and bind, and then it will work. There we go. So now it should work. There we go. I'm using this radio.
It's taken lift off.
Oh, there we go. It has been a while since I have flown.
A drone.
Yeah, at all. Oh, the calibration is a little off. Probably, I don't know what. Whoa. Okay, no singing while I'm flying. So that's interesting. There we go. I made Aiden clean up because he and his sister had totally destroyed the basement the other day. Oh yeah, you are not going to be able to fly this at all. I mean, I'm going to let you try anyway. But it's going to go badly. So there we go. You know what? Flying just casually here, I don't even notice that it's bound. I've heard there could be a lot of delay with Bluetooth. I just kind of remembered that I have a delay here. That I have I'm in Bluetooth mode, and this is not the radio that's controlling it. I can't tell at all. And there doesn't seem to be any delay with the video, which is always good. But I don't. Man, it's plenty adequate. For this, it would work just fine. Yeah. I don't have any problem. Except flying into that wall. Let's go back. There we go. Can I land it back here? Oh man, what are you doing back there?
Nothing. I didn't put a surprise while you were gone flying the drone.
Oh man, what did you do? All right, so that worked really, really well. Do you want to try it?
Yes.
Okay, let's do that. Is that good?
It's been a while since I've flown.
It's been a long time since you've flown.
Yeah.
Okay, you got the controls? Okay, wait a second. Okay, get a feel for them around a little bit.
Okay.
And just little bitty movements, okay? Little small movements.
Okay.
How long has it been? It's probably been a year since you've flown. Hopefully, the reason I wanted to do this is because I can fly with you more often. So I'm hoping this turns out really good. All right, here we go. All right, you see everything?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to arm it. It's armed, and you have control. Yeah. Okay, go forward. Go forward and go forward and turn a little bit. Go forward a little more. Push it forward. Push it forward. This drone tends to lean back a little bit. Okay. All right. I've got control.
No.
So yours does nothing. Okay. I'm going to make sure everything's okay. There we go. Okay, ready?
Yeah.
It's all you. Whoa, too much throttle. Go push forward. Push forward with the right stick. Push forward with the right stick. Oh my goodness. Good thing this thing's durable. Don't hit the ceiling. Okay, don't fly there. That's the TV. That's behind the TV. What? Okay, stop. Okay, no, I can stop you. So that's a case where we can practice more another time. All right. I got to get back to work. Thanks for trying.
You're welcome.
So I think that worked really well. What do you think?
Yeah.
I mean, you crashed it. It's over there maybe catching on fire, but whatever. It worked.
Yeah. Let's just go run.
Nah, it's fine. It's fine. I couldn't tell at all with this. Now, if I was racing at 100 miles per hour through gates, then it might be a little more of a delay you might notice. Here in the basement, I didn't notice a thing when I was using this controller. It was absolutely just fine. And I think flying outside with regular flying is going to work really well for us. And I'm much more comfortable now going out with you and flying bigger drones. Because you've flown some bigger drones.
Yeah, I've flown a lot bigger drones.
And they worked out. You've even flown a 5-inch, and it worked out, except for you careened it into the mud and caked mud all over the motors. But if I had this, then it would have been okay. So I'm looking forward to the spring when we can try it some more outside and it's not -13 outside like it is right now. But if you found this useful, leave a like and a comment down below. Aiden reminded me we didn't have our hats on. We had to put our hats back on. The module that you have to put in this is actually a Horus module. It's called the Horus X12 module, I think, Bluetooth modules, and that's what you get. I don't know how you install it in that, but that's how you install it in this radio, and it works successfully, and I'm going to use the heck out of it now. Again, make sure you get the antenna. I showed you where that goes. Like anything else, it won't work without an antenna. It's a 2.4 gigahertz antenna that you're actually putting inside the radio. So until next time, remember...
If you're going to be a geek, be an elite geek.
That's my other channel.
Oh, wrong channel. Okay, let's get out of here.
You put my hat in my coffee.
Is it started now?
Yes, it is.
Hey guys, I'm Aiden.